With summer coming, my garden is starting to have so much awesome produce. Did you know I have a garden? Usually I'm sitting here telling you about some awesome baked goods I made, and while I love anything baked, I am not eating a cake every day. A lot of times I'm eating all the produce out of my garden. I love all the fresh veggies I grow, and I make a lot of different salads and different concoctions with them. And so I think it is about time I start sharing those with you. This is a really simple curry, broccoli, and cauliflower salad. I grow broccoli, I grow cauliflower. No, I don't grow curry, although I have grown a curry herb. Besides the point, this is really simple, it is fun, and it is fresh, and I think you are going to love it. Before you start, you want to roast off some cashews. I like to use raw cashews. If you're not in the mood, just buy roasted ones. I guess it is easier, but I always just keep raw on hand. Put them in a dry skillet and set them over medium heat. Kind of flip them over every so often just to make sure they are not getting burnt, but they're just toasting and slightly brown on all sides. It really is easy as long as you don't forget about them. Then they will be burned, and that is gross. When they're toasted off, slightly browned, and you are gonna smell some delicious nuttiness, just remove them from the heat and put them right into a bowl to cool. To start, we're just gonna break the cauliflower and broccoli into smaller florets. Once you take it off the main stem, really you can use most of the cauliflower. I even like to use the stems or the larger pieces. So just cut them into smaller pieces, and once they're blanched with the rest of it, you really won't notice that they're any different. Cut them into just bite-sized pieces, really whatever you like. You just don't want those big honkers to be in your salad. That would be a mouthful. When the cauliflower is all broken up, make sure that your pot of water is boiling away. Add a good dose of salt because this is really gonna help flavor those vegetables. And then put the cauliflower right in. While the cauliflower is cooking just slightly, you can get your broccoli ready. Pretty much doing the same thing you did with the cauliflower. Break it up into small pieces, cut off any of the extra stems. They cook up the same and taste the same, so do not throw those away. That is a wasteful. After the cauliflower has slightly cooked, you can add your broccoli. Just throw it right in there and stir it up. You do not want this to cook for too long, so just make sure you have a bowl of ice water ready, because right after this comes out, we are gonna shock it into that cold water. Remove the broccoli and cauliflower from that hot water and put it right into some ice water. This is called shocking. We just blanched and shocked. Good for you. It's a great term, but if you don't know, don't worry, you're just cooking it and then putting it into something cold right away to stop the cooking. Just stir it around, make sure it's coated in that cold water and the ice, set it aside, let all the ice melt and let that cool off. That's gonna keep the really bright colors, but it's also gonna stop it from cooking anymore because you do not want mushy cauliflower or broccoli. That's just gross. The dressing is extremely simple. Start with some Greek yogurt. I'm using Greek because it's already strained and a lot thicker than regular yogurt. You could strain regular yogurt, but why go to that work when you can buy Greek yogurt? Add some lime juice and some pomegranate molasses. Now, I know this is something that you probably don't just keep in your pantry, but once you have it, I think you're gonna find tons of uses for it. I use it in almost every salad dressing. It's also really good on roasted veggies, really anything. It has almost this tart sweetness, and it really is great at balancing out flavors. So if you don't have it, try it. If not, you could maybe put a little bit of sugar in or something else to kind of sweeten it up. And of course, the star ingredient, some yellow curry. I even add a little bit of extra turmeric, not because of the color, but because of the flavor. Then to round it out, a little bit of smoked paprika. If you watch my videos, you know this is one of my favorite things. It gives just a little bit of smokiness, not too much, we're just adding a little bit, so it really just amps up that flavor and gives a real depth. This is all about awesome exotic flavors, so you might as well amp them up. And to finish this off, a little bit of salt. Salt is needed. I know we had it in the water, but we strained most of it off and already seasoned the vegetables. So we do need a little bit in the dressing just to round out all those flavors and really give it an amazing finish. And of course, a little bit of pepper. Really, I like to add the pepper for just a slight amount of heat because black pepper has heat. It does. Whisk that all together and then set it aside. Now you just need to assemble the whole salad. Drain the cauliflower and broccoli and maybe let it sit there a few minutes just to make sure all that extra water is dropping off, because otherwise it's gonna go into your dressing when you mix the salad together and get almost watery. So let it sit a while and make sure it's really dripped dry. Add the dry broccoli and cauliflower to a large bowl. Cut up some cherry or small tomatoes. I like to use a mixture of any small, colorful tomato. It adds a great pop of color and it just looks beautiful. If they're large, cut them in half or in quarters and throw them right in. Next, dice up a little bit of onion. I am just using regular white onion here. You can get fancy if you want and do some red onion and some scallion, but I kinda like the pungency here of white onion. Then chop up some cilantro. This time of year, I have it growing in the garden. If you don't like cilantro, and I know some of you don't, you could actually kind of switch it out for either parsley or basil would be a really fun addition. Pour the dressing on top and stir it all together. And then add some golden raisins. You could, yes, use regular raisins, but raisins really add this great pop of sweetness every so often. They kind of plump up in the dressing. They're really delicious. Once it's stirred together, you can top it with some cashews, kind of as a garnish, and it is ready to go. Seriously, this is a delicious summer salad. If you want, add chicken or shrimp to kind of make it more of a meal, or serve it as a side at your next grill out, because everyone is gonna love this. And you are gonna know how simple it is, but they aren't. Obviously, my time is about done here because these videos keep popping up all over and covering my face. So hit like below, click subscribe, and until next time.